NFL passing yard prop bets for quarterbacks. Let's get into it. If you're unaware, over under for passing yards is there's a set number. Vegas sets a number, and you bet will they have over or under that amount of passing yards. It's pretty simple. Today we're going to be using FanDuel's numbers, but it doesn't matter. All the sites have the same numbers. We're going to be starting off with Aaron Rodgers over under 3,200.5. They always do the 0.5, so you either win or lose, and you don't never tie. In terms of Aaron Rodgers, this is a heavy under for me. Look, there's a few things working against him. Number one, his age. So there's a good chance he gets injured. And if you miss 4 games, getting to 3,200 or above 3,200 is unlikely. He could get benched and or retire. I think both of those are possible. And even if he played the full 17, I'm still not sure I would expect him to get to 3,200 with just DK. I think it's going to be heavy on the run attack. I think he's going to be lackluster quarterback. And I think even if he plays the full 17, which is probably maybe a 20% chance in my mind, I think it's a 50-50 at that point if he gets there. So heavy under on that. Baker Mayfield at 3,825.5. So pretty much he needs to be in those upper threes or 4,000 and above. I think he gets there. Look, you got Bucky Irving. You don't really have a strong run game. He's a good pass catcher. You got Evans. You got Goodwin. You got a first-round wide receiver. They're going to be airing the ball out down there in Tampa. And I think they'll be putting up a lot of points. So I do think he'll get over 4,000. Doesn't even need to get to 4,000, but I think he'll get over that. Bo Nix, 3,500.5. I think it's a little steep for me. Look, they got a new running back in the second round. Strong defense. I think the Broncos are going to be trying to win low-scoring games, a lot of ball control. Bo Nix getting to 3,500 yards. I don't see it. I would bet the under on that. Got Brock Purdy, 3,850.5. I would probably not touch this one. If you force me to pick, I would pick the over, but I don't love it. Needing Brock Purdy to get essentially 4,000 yards or higher. I don't love it, especially he's kind of a smaller dude, might get injured. But they should be airing it out. I mean, you got C-Mac, you got Kittle, you got Piershaw, you got Ayuk. So I'd bet the over, but I'd probably just not touch that one. Bryce Young, over under 3,200.5. So he needs to get into those mid-threes. And this one's tough. Look, there's a chance he could get benched again. There's a chance he could get injured. He's a smaller dude. But I'm going to take the over. I know it could look stupid if he misses 8 games. But I think with Leggett, with Tetero, you're going to be losing a lot of games. I think he could be a sleeper guy to end up with 4,000 yards. So I think Bryce Young will be excellent. Caleb Williams, 3,525.5. This is a good line. I'd probably, if you asked me to guess, I'd say 3,500 for him. Ben Johnson comes over. They're going to be running the football a lot. Caleb Williams also has some pretty good legs as well. I would probably not touch this one, similar to Brock Purdy. I think these are perfect lines. I think he'll get like 3,500, so probably don't want to touch that. Cam Ward, 3,200.5. I'm going to take the over. Look, they are going to be losing every game they're playing in. He's got a big arm. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions probably. Got Calvin Ridley over there. You got a new coach. I think they're going to be airing it out. He's probably going to throw 22 interceptions. I think he'll get over 3,200. CJ Stroud, this is probably the easiest bet of the year for me. 3,825.5. You could add 500 yards to this. You could go 4,300. I would probably still take it. I think C.J. Stroud is going to probably lead the NFL. Him and Dak Prescott, who's next on this, are going to be the top 2 passing yardage leaders in the NFL. You got Nico Collins. You're in a dome. You got Christian Kirk. I think they're going to be airing it out. I think he easily gets over that mark. Dak Prescott also at 3,825.5, identical numbers. I think he gets over it as well. Pickens, you got CeeDee Lamb. You don't have a strong run game, and they're also in a dome. I think Dak and C.J. Stroud are both easily over 4,000. Drake May, 3,275.5. I do not think he gets there. Who's he throwing the football to? I do understand they're going to be losing games, and he could kind of get a backdoor 3,300 with a lot of pass attempts. I don't see it. I think he's going to be dookie. I think he probably is going to get benched by the end of the season. And, I think they're going to be trying to run the ball anyways, if it's possible for him. Geno Smith, 3,575.5. No chance he hits this. Look, I don't think he's a good quarterback to begin with. He's older. I think if he sucks, they're going to bench him. Once again, older, so he could get injured. But this team is not... They're not trying to win games by airing out. They drafted Gentry. A good season for the Raiders. Geno Smith doesn't even get to 3,575 or up. So I don't think any scenario where he gets to the high threes. Got Jalen Hurts at 3,200.5. I think he does get there. I think Barkley is going to regress a little bit. I think they're going to be running the ball less with Jalen Hurts. And you got Brown, you got Smith, you got Goddard, you got Barkley out of the backfield receiving. I think the offense will be more pass heavy this season. So I think he'll get there. Jared Goff, 3,875.5. It's a good number. It's a good number for sure. I'm going to go... This is tough. I'm going to go... I don't know. I think this is a perfect number. You got Gibbs, who is somewhat of a receiving back. I don't know. If you force me to bet, I'd take the over. But I probably don't want to bet either of those. Jaden Daniels, 3,450.5. I am going to take the over. I think the Commanders will be a significantly worse team than they were last year. They were in the NFC Championship. I think they'll miss the playoffs and be trying to come back from behind a lot. They don't have a strong run game. I think he's going to be throwing a lot of yards. I do not think people will view him as a top 5 quarterback, though, going into next offseason. So I would take the over. J.J. McCarthy, wow, this line is absurd. 3,650.5, no chance. A mediocre quarterback. Did he even have that amount of yards in college in all of his years combined? He is a decent runner, a horrific passer. Now, they do have weapons. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, you got Hawkinson. Aaron Jones is a decent receiving back, but you still have to complete the passes. And J.J. McCarthy is not good at completing the passes, so no chance. Joey B, 4,200.5. I'm going to go under, although I wouldn't be surprised at all if he hits 5,000. 4,200 is, number one, he needs to be healthy the full 18-game season. He needs to play all 17 games. He can't be getting taken out in the fourth quarter if they're blowing teams out. He can't be getting taken out in the fourth quarter if they're losing by a lot. He can't sit week 18 if they're clinched a playoff spot. He needs to play the full 17, and he needs to be playing the full game. And yeah, if he does all that, he probably gets over 4,200. I think they're going to be trying to run the ball more with Chase Brown. I think the offense will regress a little bit just because of the law of averages, and I think the defense will probably play a little bit better. 4,200 just banks on too many things going right. Jordan Love, 3,600.5. You got a new receiver in the first round. You got a lot of good tubes. And if he stays healthy, I think he hits 3,600 pretty easily. Now, if he stays healthy, it's a big caveat because he was injured at the beginning of last season. But I imagine he will. Josh Allen, 3,775.5. I think he goes over that. I think James Cook is probably not going to be playing, it looks like, at the time of this video. And if James Cook is not playing, Josh Allen is going to be throwing the football more. Now, he doesn't have a great receiving core. I don't think that matters all that much. I think he's so spectacular that he's going to be throwing for 4,400 yards. And, yeah, I think that one is locked in. Justin Fields, 2,650.5. No chance. He is not a good passer. We have seen this on every team he's played for. Every iteration of Justin Fields is getting worse and worse and worse. He is a decent rusher. 2-point play guy, fourth and short guy. Yeah, he's excellent. He'll be benched by Thanksgiving, and even if he played the full year, I don't think he gets to the high twos. Justin Herbert, 3,650.5. This is a tough one. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot with Omarion Hampton as well as Najee Harris. You know, they high draft capital as well as a high amount of money they paid Najee Harris. It's unlikely they're going to use all those resources and then not utilize those guys. And Justin Herbert's going to be rushing for some yards as well. I'm going to take the under, but if they open up this offense, he could easily have 1,000 over that. Kyler Murray, 3,375.5. I think he goes over that. Going to be throwing the football a lot. You got Marvin Harrison. You got a very good offensive line that's kind of gone on under the radar. James Conner's getting a little bit older, so I don't think he'll be as much of a focal point. And I think Kyler Murray will get into the low fours. Lamar Jackson, 3,450.5. I think he will go under that because I think the Ravens will be the 1 seed in the AFC. I believe they're going to be blowing a lot of teams out. So I think it's going to be a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and just a lot of running the football. So I don't think he'll get to that number. Matthew Stafford, 3,750.5. I think he'll go under that. If he plays the full season, I'm 50-50, but where he's older, if he stinks, he'll get benched, and then he could also get injured due to that age. Michael Penix, 3,350.5. I think he goes over. I think London, I think Pitts, I think that dome, I think that division, all of that makes for Michael Penix to go over that. Got Mahomes at 4,000.5. I think he goes over that. Now, I do have a weird suspicion he's going to get injured in Week 7. I don't know why. I have no clue. I think he's going to get injured in Week 7 or Week 8. But anyways, I'm going to take the over. Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worley, Travis Kelce as well. He's not really a big factor. I think this might be vintage Mahomes. 5,000 passing yards, 50 touchdowns. Defense isn't as good. I could see vintage Mahomes year. Sam Darnold, 3,400.5. No chance. Sam Darnold is not good. No chance. If you bet this, you are an idiot. Trevor Lawrence, 3,700.5. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I'm going to go with yes. I think he goes over that. You got Travis Hunter, who's probably just going to be playing wide receiver. You got Brian Thomas. You got ETN and Bigsby in Florida. I think it's going to be high-flying offense. I think the new head coach over there, I think they'll put the pieces together and really churn on a good offense. And then you got Tua, last guy on the list, 3,500.5. I think he will be injured or bench. I think Zach Wilson could take over for him, but probably just get injured. If he plays the full season, 3,500 is probably going to happen. I just don't see a world where he plays the full season.